Good morning. I'm waking up at Inks Lake State Park, having my first cup of coffee, listening to the birds. I don't really have a particular agenda for today or outline or checklist for today, so just letting it unfold. So one of the things that I do every morning, and I was asked about this recently, one of my clients asked me, every morning? You do this every morning? One of the things that I do every morning, even when I travel, regardless of what's going on, is that I read. Well, first of all, coffee, because I'm not a savage. Read and journal. Those are my three. That's the trifecta. That is the success formula for the day. Coffee, read, journal. And right now I'm reading The Language of Letting Go. I read that every morning because it's every day. It's just like maybe a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, maybe a page worth of thoughts about letting go, about loving yourself, about being open, about living in abundance, about not being codependent, just a variety of things. And then for journaling, I use Notability, and it gives me the ability to create. The Notability gives me the ability to create all these different notes, and I can organize and categorize things. So I have a morning pages, what I call morning pages section, and in that I add in my journal entry for the day. So here I'm going to just take you through creating a journal note. Show you kind of what I've got going on here. All right, so when I first come in here, what I do is I basically just start up a new note. And then I have a blank note, and this has infinite scroll. So you can add as many pages as you want. You can continue to write as long as you want, and it'll just get longer and longer. So the very first thing that I do is I come in and I add in a header for the page, because I want to be able to identify it from other items in the Notability app. I don't just use Notability for for journaling and morning pages. I use it also for client notes and things like that. So I've got a variety of stickers that I've kind of acquired over time. Let's just add a couple of them to the page. You can see what's going on here, like that. Yeah. So if I add those to the page, so that's when I was in Mexico. There's my header for when I was in Mexico. Here's a heart that I drew in the app and then saved as a sticker. Here are some roses that I drew that I use sometimes as a footer on some of the pages, just to kind of like bookend the page. Here's just one of those roses, so sometimes I put that into the pages someplace. Here is pretty much my morning pages standard header with a sun and the heart. Just trying to remind me every day to start, get out of my head and get into my heart, which is part of why I brain dump all of this stuff in the morning, is to get it out of my head, to be able to process it, decide what I think about it, to let it go, that sort of thing. So I created that, and then here is here's the taco that I drew from my Mexico retreat earlier this year when I was gone for 45 days. And so I just stuck that up there and created another version. So when I was in Mexico, I had this header. That was my morning page header. Just having a little fun. And that is a mess up. So it's really easy to, as you can see, to kind of move here. So I'm going to get rid of that because I'm not in Mexico. And then to do that. And then And then as you go across the top here, you have a variety of options. You can add text, like you can actually type in here and create blocks of text. You can use a pencil, you can highlight, you can erase stuff, you can select stuff, you can move the page around. I think this is something to do with your pencil. I haven't used that. There's a microphone here that you can actually record voice notes and things like that. And then as you saw before, you've got your pages. You can search your pages. There's pages that you can bookmark. You can do a lot of things here. You can duplicate pages, things like that. And then when you go, if you get out of there, when you go into here, there's options for templates. You can create templates and things like that. That's nice. And then, like you saw before, if you can add media, so you can go into your library, you can add stickers, you can bring things in from the web. There's a lot of different things you can do here, which makes it really, really nice to be able to have options like that, to be able to kind of dress up the page. So generally what I do is I come in here and I say, where am I at? So today I'm actually at Inks Lake. So I'm going to put Inks Lake on there. Most of the time I put, ATX for Austin, but I'll go ahead and put Inks Lake on there for today. And then I, over on the right-hand side over here someplace, I put in what is my one-word emotional state. And that emotional state can be anything. It doesn't just have to be happy, angry, sad, whatever. It could be open, curious. It could be calm. It could be relaxed. It could really be anything. I mean, a lot of times when I don't know exactly what I'm feeling, I might put curious, because I'm curious about what I'm really feeling. When I'm feeling particularly good and I don't have a label that I want to give to it, I'll just say I'm open. Or maybe even sometimes when I don't know what's going on and there's some uncertainty, then I put open. I'm open to possibilities. I'm open to the day, right? I'm not closed. I'm not shut down. I'm not reserved. I'm actually open. So today I think I'll put open, because I don't, like I said before, I don't particularly have a checklist of things that I want to get done today. I know I do have coaching calls and that sort of thing that are on the calendar that will happen, right? That are just guarantees. But the rest of the day I can flow with and let it unfold however I want. So I do that. So and then from there, I generally write, whatever my notes are, and then like I said, this is an infinite scroll. So if I were to, right here, it just continues to scroll. So the pages automatically get added for me. I don't have to do anything. So it's really just genuinely is an infinite scroll. And so what I'll do from there is I will basically, I'll just go through and start writing my notes until I reach a point where I feel like I have brain dumped enough that I'm good. Like when you're brain dumping stuff, you don't have to, you can just feel when it's time to stop. And I'm kind of doing this based on two things. One, I had a college professor who said, when you're doing a writing assignment, let's say you sat down for a timed test and it was there was a writing portion of the test, they might give you a topic and ask you to write a paper or write something about that topic. And because you don't have the time to research it, you don't have the time to to think about it too much, he said what you want to do is you want to take that topic and then you want to brain dump everything you know about that topic. And just keep writing. Don't think about it. Just write everything that comes to mind. Just feverishly kind of write it down on the page. And then when you get to the point where you're just sort of staring at the page, then you have dumped everything, brain dumped everything that you have onto the page. He says, now go back and look at what's there and look for the things that don't fit the rest of the things, right? So you're really looking for items that you can eliminate. He says, then scratch those off. You're not going to mess with those. It was in your head, but it doesn't relate to the rest of the things. So let's just go ahead and eliminate them. He says, now you take what's there, what's left, and you start to organize it into some sort of reasonable flow, into an order that makes sense. And he says, once you've done that, now you have the outline for whatever it is that you're going to write. And he says, now you just want to, you think of that outline as your headings for your sections, and then you want to go ahead and just write the in-betweens. And then, so fast forward, to the most recent history, and I was exposed to this concept of morning pages. My wife actually read a book that recommended that every morning you do a brain dump, and they called them morning pages. And every morning you would just kind of dump what you had on your mind onto the page, and you would just kind of leave it there. And really, you weren't encouraged to go back and read it. You weren't encouraged to label it or judge it or assign a meaning to it. You weren't encouraged to do anything other than just to dump it on the page. And that's what I've been doing. So I've been combining my thoughts from that professor and this concept of morning pages. So as I'm brain dumping, I literally will follow whatever stream of consciousness is going on at the time, get my thoughts out, have thoughts about my thoughts, write those thoughts down. And at some point, when I finally get to the point where I'm like, I don't think I have anything else to say on this, then what I'll do is I will go into the stickers, and I will put a little heart on the end of it, right? Just to bookend it, just for myself. And that's when I go back and look at the pages, I know that that was the end, right? That nothing was missing. It's just my way of saying that's the end of the page. And then sometimes when like I said, what I'll do is I'll actually take and put I'll actually bookend it with maybe something else, like some flowers or something like that. And this is me, right? I like the artistic kind of aspect of things. I like to doodle, and sometimes I'll take, I'll even get lost in taking something and duplicating it and moving it across the screen, or or sizing it or resizing it. And what I'm doing in those moments is I'm actually thinking. I'm actually kind of allowing my mind to wander, maybe more of like a creative space, and then that just helps me to be able to unfold my thoughts. So there you go. There's a little peek into how I spend my mornings. And this generally takes, I don't know, maybe it can really take as long as you want, or it can, you can just be a few minutes. You don't have to spend all day on it. I usually take my time, and I would say, if I were in kind of want to cut it short, I would say it would take me 15-20 minutes. But what I generally do is I just don't time it at all. I don't worry about it. I just carve out the time in the morning to be able to do this for myself. And it really helps to set my day, set my attention, and set the tone for the day.